My name is Jason Cardamone. I've lived here in Colorado my entire 47 years, a little north of Denver, all around the place. We're up here in Boulder, Colorado, which is right, 20 minutes from where I live. And my martial arts background, so primarily karate, primary Goju Ryu, but a lot of mixed styles in there. I am a brown belt in that over about 6 years. 4 years of actual focus around that. And also some of that was Muay Thai kickboxing, and then introduced to many hard styles. at my school, jiu-jitsu, we did a lot of things like that, self-defense. And then prior to that, my cousin has been with a more internal style. I've been introduced to Chi and internal energy through my cousin who's done Bagua for about 30 years now. And he's shown me a couple little things, but I never really engaged much. And even back then, I wasn't even really very serious about martial arts. And so, fast forward here, over the course of the past decade, I've done a lot more martial arts. And, over the last 3, 4, 5, I don't know, it's kind of been a time warp since Sifu Larry, CJ Jamie have been out here. So I've seen some of the most amazing things, and here's what it reminds me of. Some of the stories my cousin has shared about things he's either seen or heard about that are just, how is that possible in martial arts and things to happen, that really, I have all the internal belief is like, well, I haven't seen that. I don't really believe that, that was like a trick in some way. And I've seen all of these things, and they are not tricks over the past 4 or 5 days here. And then to realize what really, there's several things that really inspire me. One of the big things is, so I weigh currently about 145, 150. I'm 5'8", 5'9". I've always been one of the smaller guys around. So I played really high level soccer for 30 years, and so I'm used to competition. I'm used to bigger people. I'm used to even, physical contact and even some fights, which I was afraid of that. And I didn't know what to do back then. And so the point is, witnessing a couple experiences, and the first day seeing Sifu Fu who's 5-10 pounds heavier than me, he's basically my size. And having so many much bigger people come up, and just seeing the way from different styles, different experiences. I feel like a baby in martial arts, where I have a good 5-6 serious years. That's like, I feel it doesn't feel like much, and I'm still learning so much. Like everyone's better than me is what I'm trying to say, is what I feel. But seeing these guys that have been doing this 10, 20, 30, 40 years, that are like monsters, that I would never have any kind of a chance, or at least that's what I thought before, a week ago. And to see how Sifu Fu was able to completely, he just talked through, there was never threats, and there's people going all in and with all their strength, and watching them die out, and seeing him like, oh, we're warm up then? Is this over? We actually, are you really going to come at me, really hit me? And just seeing things that how these are, it's like the stories my cousin talked about, which I thought was fiction. And then realizing, with Sifu Larry here, he's, we met online in 2008 doing marketing things, and we've traveled around the world together. We've been all around together. We've done lots of events, and having a true, I know the word master means something very special. Having a Sifu with Larry's kind of experience, I never realized I'm with the guy, besides Sifu Fu, that I would, more than any other human being I've ever met on planet Earth, and no disrespect to any of my teachers or anybody who might possibly ever see this, I just would put my money on Larry and Sifu Fu, which is, and it's not, I don't want to turn this either into a competition. It's not about that, but it's about, if I have, my kids 13, 15, 17, and if I truly want to protect them or any of my loved ones or any people I'm around, or even protect a person from themselves, I've never truly had the belief and abilities that I could even do. Even if I learned the abilities for decades, I'm a $150, dude. What the hell am I gonna do? Like super trained against anybody much bigger. And that literally, that belief is just, that was just a bullshit story. It's complete, has nothing to do with actual reality. I've been living in this, you know, hallucination is something I like to share a lot of. I think we all have hallucinations of everything. And my hallucination a week ago was that I would never be able to handle anybody much bigger than myself. And the more big and the bigger they are than me, I don't have any chances, much less someone trained. And so, in martial arts. And so realizing, I mean, that kind of belief, I'm 47, and having that for almost all my 47 years and whatever weeks old I am, minus the last 5 days, that's pretty trippy. I mean, that's it. To be honest, it's awe-inspiring, and I'm holding back some inspired tears around that. It's like, well, I've been walking around, Larry's been doing this 27 years, and I've known him 14 years, and to realize imagine how I could have felt about myself in this very moment. None of these same words would be the same, because they wouldn't be true if I would have been training, actually focus on it, taking it serious, which that's just what I do in whatever I do. And so I'm excited, I'm so inspired as much, I'm inspired about what I've discovered here and what I've seen. So one of my favorite moments these last few days here is, you know, we went out and met one of my other really good friends here, and this is a friend I deeply admire, and in fact he's a black belt and in specific discipline, and I just, this is one of my very close friends as well that lives here in Colorado. And so we all go out to lunch. He also knows Larry and Jamie, and we were demonstrating. I was encouraging some demonstrations because I don't remember how much my friend weighs. I believe he's 185, 190, a couple inches bigger than me. He literally looks like a Hollywood fitness model. And in fact, that's like what he does. He's a personal trainer and all that. And he's always been like just one of the strongest people I know. And also physically, mentally, he's just an amazing, amazing guy. But realizing that, long story short, is CJ Jamie, and seeing that he could not use his strength to do anything against her. And not only that, she basically reversed it, and she's pushing this huge muscular guy I love to death backwards, and honestly ran into this other big dude. She put, like, literally, so I just think about, you know, forget about it. Yes, part of it's funny and I love all these people, but I'm like, well, okay, in real life, this huge freaking dude is coming after this girl at her arm, like, and he can't do anything with her. And not only that, he ends up, now I can't go backwards because I'm going to probably die. Maybe, I don't know that probably looks way shallower than it really is, but I won't dramatize and say he flew backwards, but he kind of flew backwards and hit another guy. It was incredible. And then what's also inspiring about that to me is Jamie's been doing this 6, 7, 8 years, and that's like, well, dude, this is really inspiring to realize what a person could do in over the course of our lifetime. 5, 6, 10 years is a very small part of it, but what if you could be a human being walking around the planet realizing there is no person that can, let me reframe that. What if you could walk around and realize you have an incredible chance to protect yourself and your loved ones anywhere you go ever, forever, even against other trained martial artists, even against big people. And, you know, maybe you randomly find someone trained with NDN and this school, and they've been doing it forever, and then you would know them, so you wouldn't have to fight them. But I just, and I'm not taking, and they don't take things away from other martial arts either, which is something I would have had big problems with that. I saw completely respect and sharing openly with so many different disciplines over the seminar this weekend. That was really beautiful. It was amazing to see. And so, but to have that confidence, so back to, what could this do for me, for us, for, imagine being a person to be able to be in any situation, no matter what your size is, no matter strength, height, weight, age, or anything, sex, and to realize you have a chance to help yourself and your loved ones and help other people, from themselves. Sometimes someone's whacked out on drugs and you need to protect themselves. And so there's just it's awe-inspiring. I don't know the words because there's not a word that correctly can explain, like, oh, it's awesome, it's amazing. Like because it feels like cliche. I don't have a word to explain just how awe-inspiring and really, like, it's been, this has changed my life, and I've only seen this for less than a week, because I realize what it could mean. Like, I couldn't walk away. Let's say for 3 months, I'm like, no, I'm just going to go running, play soccer, get in the gym. Like, I'm not going to do anything. This will haunt me for like the next 3 months, 3 years, or whenever, realizing, like, Jason, this is right here in front of you, just like it's been for 14 years. Like, and to realize and this isn't even about fighting. I hate fighting. I don't believe in violence, but I know it's required in certain situations. And I've been that. I've got jumped. I got cold clocked. I was out and I couldn't do anything about it. And it sucked. And it involved hospitals and staples in my head. And that was so ridiculous to, like, not be able to do anything about that and feel like that and be afraid to death. Like, and it'll be unlikely I'll be in situations like that. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of things throughout my lifetime, and I would rather be prepared and know, and just to realize, what about if it's not me? Maybe it's my kids. Maybe it's my parents. Maybe it's my spouse. It's someone I didn't share some basic technique to really help them that might end up saving even their life or someone else. And it would be hard to imagine knowing something like this exists and not seeking some level of deeper pursuit. So I had another thought here that's really important, and something I experienced was when I watched Sifu working with multiple more experienced martial artists than myself from multiple different disciplines, the way he respected the work they had put in, their whole style, their school, I don't remember his exact words, but it was something around the style. It's not about the style, it's about applying these techniques to what you already know. And it was seeing the people's reaction to this as well. Nobody ever felt threatened, like it's this style against this one against this one. And there was something I had said in my video where I could see one perspective of that. It could be implied that, oh, this is against all other schools or anything. And it's nothing to do with that. And I was reminded of this just now, where I have my cousin has been in Bagua for a long time, for decades. And the way Sifu Larry was like, I don't even remember what I said again, but he was like, it would never be against going against that. It's all about how can these techniques help and amplify and refine and make the craft that a person knows even better. And I think it's really important to share this because, we've put in years. I feel really, like, dedicated to the few disciplines that I've focused on. And I've only done, 2 to 5, 6 years in them. And when people have done this 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, it can feel threatening, like it's your very identity when you do something for that long. And so there's never ever been any kind of, oh, you have to just do our stuff, forget all this other stuff, you can never do this again, and this, and where it may have been a big part of your identity, even if it was only a year. So I just wanted to share that. I thought that was it helped me feel so much more comfortable, and it's actually one of the first things. I forgot it was a wrestler, a boxer, someone goes up, and the way that Sifu worked with them, and this is on like the first night when I was first seeing and experiencing some things, it was it was comforting. It was, I felt super comfortable that like, there's nothing is a threat here. You know, this is, that there, my beliefs weren't threatened. That's what I wanted to try to say there. So what I was struggling to find the words of this, but it's been my experience, you know, even when I was, before I started practicing myself through my cousin and others, you know, I've always seen different styles they tend to be against each other, and they tend to be like, well, we're better than you, better than them, you know, come fight us and we'll fight you and we're better and all this stuff. And that there was anything remotely like that. It was always, let us show you in, you know, ways to refine things. So I believe the tagline or a big part of what they teach here, and I'm going to slaughter the words, but it's something around, don't let the style define you, let energy refine you. And so it's really about, I heard this multiple times, I don't care about your style, the style doesn't matter. Does that make sense? Not that like, I don't care about you or your style, but that, bring me any style, bring me every style. And that was really refreshing. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that in martial arts. So I wanted to share that thought. So with all of this, you know, I'm just being totally honest that I know Larry's always wanted me to check all this out and join him and be more involved with what he's doing, and even made some efforts, and nothing's really worked out. But I literally came into this, I have some different new financial obligations, and I didn't want to pay any kind of money or create any time. I don't have any. I run like 5 businesses. I'm super busy with my family and running and all the things that I do. And so before this week and meeting, experiencing everything I've experienced, I didn't have any intention to join, or to join just like barely kind of like check a few things out if I was really inspired by what I saw. What instead happened was, a couple mornings ago, I woke up and I just got done with a whole night of doing, you know, qigong and all kind, just seeing amazing things, and I hadn't even seen my friend throw it up against the other dude at that point by Jamie. And so I made a commitment, and I literally just grabbed everything I could possibly grab, whole enchilada, as Wayne Dyer would say. And it's because I know there's a wisdom and a mastery in this material, and I don't know how long it'll take me to get through 1,500 hours and probably 3,000 or more by the time I'm getting there. And I'm a crazy student as well, so who knows what's possible. But I feel like this is one of the most important decisions I've made, and it really, the money relatively was really nothing. It was really, am I willing to create the time and put energy into martial arts here at 47 with what I thought my map looked like the next 3 to 4 or 5 years, which was not going to have probably no martial arts or very, very minimal. And that's a far more it's like the money's nothing compared to what I know. It's not even what I am feeling called to, and I have to commit to. I can't keep this wisdom and gift away from people I love, or this one either, from myself. So somewhere around this site, usually up in a corner or somewhere, look for a join button or a button somewhere and look for somewhere to join this amazing community. And I've only been a part of the online community a tiny little bit. I'm very excited about what I've seen, and also, you know, my ability to engage, even because they live across the country from where I'm at. And so it's not like I'm going to be in the dojo or whatever we call it here with them hardly ever. I mean, I'm definitely going to be going out there and seeing them more, but for me to ever imagine a week ago, hey, you're going to be inspired to fly across the country to go train with different people, which I have been when I was doing some deeper karate, but I didn't do that to seek some mastery. And so to realize, like, I know I'm doing that here, that's there's something special, there's something happening here. And it's all behind the join button, wherever that is here. So find the join button and click it and enter your information and push the button and make that tiny little financial commitment. And I don't know where this journey is going to go, but I will share anything. I love sharing and teaching people, and it's been life-changing, and it's only been a handful of days. I'm extremely inspired and excited about the months, years, decades to come, and the kind of legacy that I can leave behind for my loved ones and for humanity.